Thank you. Destroying my name. Nice mic. Confident the vice over here or what? How's everybody doing tonight? Go Giants. Yes. Can we hear it? Go Giants. Woo! So, wow, that hurt. Hello, microphone. My girlfriend's uncle came to visit from Montana. And Montana is a little hokey. These people crazy. And he, really with this microphone? Okay, I'm gonna hold it like this. So he always brings presents every year he comes and visits, and he goes and he hands me a paper bag. And he goes, "This is for you," and he winks at me. And I open it up and I pull a pair of rubber boots and a gallon of lube out. And he looks at me and he says, "This is how we do it in Montana." And I laughed at him. I said, "Obviously you haven't been to the Castro because that's how they do it in the Castro." Ooh, as you guys can see, I am no Calvin Klein model. I've got a little bit of action going on here. A little man boob action going on, you know. A little chunky, you know, it's okay. It's alright. My girl likes it chunky. So, you know, I go to the doctors, and I have one of those doctors that's one of those marathon running doctors. You know, the one that's like, you know, six-pack here, and he's got a protein shake hanging on his side. And he comes in, and he looks at you with his nice hair and his chiseled out, whatever the hell you call it, jaw. And he looks at you and he'll look at the chart and he'll look how much you weigh and everything, and he'll say, "So how you doing?" You go, "I'm all right. I feel all right. A little fat, but I'm all right." And he'll say, "Well, what are you doing about that?" And you can tell that this doctor gets this all the time, so he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta hear the excuses again for the 7th time today." So he gets back and he kind of pulls himself back and he looks. And he goes, "So what do you eat?" And you're thinking to yourself, because you always lie to doctors. You never tell the truth to doctors at all. And you think to yourself, what should I tell him? What shouldn't I tell him? Bonbons last night or carrot sticks? So you tell him, you're like, I usually have salads. And the first thing you say is, "Well, you know, I work a lot, so it's hard for me to eat healthy." And he looks at you and goes, "Mm-hmm." And then you continue to tell him, "I have salads and I have carrot sticks and I drink 20 gallons of water a day." And you see him roll his eyes and go, "Bullshit." You're like, "Well, okay. F you too, buddy." Personally, I'd rather have an overweight fat doctor when you go in. Someone that actually makes me feel better about myself when I go in. I go in, he's got his bunson just sticking out like this, you know, he's half shaved, his coat doesn't even fit him anymore, and he comes in and he walks in, he's like, he makes you move off the bed because he needs to spread himself out a little bit. Kind of gets on the bed. In the meantime, you're half naked in one of those robes with the back and your ass is showing like this. So I'd rather have a fat doctor. I mean, that's just how I am. So I am definitely convinced that when you are done at the doctors have something called the fat phone. The doctors will run. When you're done, they're like, okay, you know, they tell you what to do to be healthy, and then you leave, and then they run in their office, they call the fat phone. The fat phone has a direct connection to Weight Watchers. You call, and the fat phone runs at the Weight Watchers, you know, headquarters, which is next to the secret Twinkie stash that they have, the one they don't tell anybody about. And they're like, "We got another fat one. His name is Charlie. Fuck, I don't know what the last name is, but he's Charlie. He's 200 and you know what? He's just really fat." And then he says, "You know what? You should probably sign him up without him knowing. Send him maybe a free month. You know, he is a Jew, so he's a little cheap. So you got to send him a free month with a free membership, sign up, and maybe a couple meals here and there. You know, and you don't really know this. I mean, at first you think about it, you're like, I'm so fat that the U.S. Postal Service even knows it. They even know I'm overweight, and I get these things in the mail, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. But So another thing the doctors tell you, which I think is just complete bullcrap, is reading labels. In order to be healthy, you got to choose what you eat and you got to read labels. Well, do they make a reading labels for dummy book? Half of the stuff I don't even really understand. Let's look at popcorn. It's corn and sugar and some butter and a bunch of these words that I didn't even learn, in high school, college, extracurricular activities, nothing. I'd like it to say corn, butter, salt, and some stuff that might give you some extreme gas, might make you wake up in the middle of the night and shit yourself, and when you're doing your weekly yoga poses, you might have anal leakage, and you might have to go to the bathroom when you were done. Go figure. Another thing he tells you to shop at the place where you think is going to be the best, and they say, well, Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. Whole Foods, whole paycheck, how you doing? The economy's in the dumps, and you still want us to shop healthy. You can walk out of there with 2 avocados and a whole chicken, and you think, I could have bought a car for this much. They're so expensive, you go up to the register, and they ask you for your ID and date of birth when you walk out. When you buy alcohol, they don't ask you for your ID. They make you fill out a credit app. It is just effing ridiculous. Whole Foods. Oh, shopping. How many people are shopping? I'm going to be honest, I'm going to spoil it all for you. Men don't really like shopping unless it's for themselves. Do I have an amen on that, men? And why do men go shopping, ladies and gentlemen? To please their women. Because they're not going to be too bit of a mood if you don't. So you go into the store. I was with my girlfriend the other day, and we're walking. We go into Bed Bath & Beyond, and yes, I know the name, Bed Bath & Beyond, the 3 Bs. And I walk in, she goes, what brings you in here today? I was like, well, I'm avoiding a fight, avoiding my girlfriend being a dirty little bitch, and I'd like to actually have some time to play some video games later. I'd like to enjoy my life today. Or I tell them, you know what, it was either this or getting my nipple pierced, so it looks where I am. On a closing note, you guys have been a fantastic crowd. I hope you guys like me, and you guys enjoy your Mexican food. If you guys are feeling saucy, you can put a little guacamole right here, put a little salsa right here, and I can become your own human nacho. Thank you very much. Have a good night, guys.